Hello and welcome to your first guitar lesson. In this video, we will learn the body parts of the instrument, the string names, how to tune, how to play our first chords, where to put the hands and where to put the instrument, how to position ourselves. And by the end of the video, we will be playing our first song. So let's get started with the body parts of our instrument. And I'm going to be general here because your guitar may be a little different from mine. There are so many different types of guitars. So in general, we call this the head or headstock, this area here at the top. And you'll see the strings end at these tuning machines or tuners. So these help you change the note that the string will produce. And then you have a nut. That's where the strings are resting before they make their way to the headstock and the tuning machine. So this is nut. Then you have your frets. And when you move further down the instrument, you have your neck. This is the fingerboard. And then moving further down, this is the body of your instrument. And your instrument may be symmetrical, right? Mine has a cutaway. This cutaway helps to reach the higher frets. And then the fingerboard ends here where we have a sound hole. I would love for you to think of the sound hole as the mouth of the instrument. Oftentimes beginners, when they're learning how to play, they'll flip the guitar this way, not knowing they're doing it because they want to see what they're doing, pointing the mouth up. Imagine if we were having a conversation and you're pointing your mouth up this way. So keep in mind where you're pointing the mouth. You want to make sure it's pointing out from you. The strings end over here at the bridge and saddle. And there are different places where we will strum, but I'll give you some more guidance on that a little later. Your instrument may also have some strap buttons so that you can put on a strap. Maybe you only have one. So then you put your strap here, and if you bought a strap, it should have a little lace that you tie right above the nut, and that way you can carry your instrument. Some instruments have two strap buttons, so you'll notice it'll be somewhere close to the end of the neck. So those are the general body parts for our instrument. So think of it this way: head, head, neck, neck, body, body. So those are the main ones. But I do want to draw your attention to fret markers. So remember I was telling you about the sound hole, that I would like it to point out and away from you. Another thing that will help you keep a good position on the instrument is the fret markers here on the side of your instrument. So these fret markers will help you keep track of which fret you're playing on. Make note and see if your guitar has a fret marker on the 3rd fret. Some of them start on the 5th, some of them start on the 3rd. And your guitar may have something like this, a pick guard. This is so that you don't damage the instrument with a lot of strumming or with picks. So you may have a pick guard. So next, let's talk about how to hold the instrument. It works best if you're sitting in a chair that has no arms. So I'm gonna stand up from here so you can see where I'm sitting. I'm sitting on a little stool. It's a little piano stool, but I have this chair here that has no arms, because if a chair has arms that are sticking out, it's going to affect how you hold your instrument. So go ahead and find a comfortable position. I want you to remember this: you're the boss. The instrument comes to you. So first find a comfortable position. Take a breath. I'm holding the guitar on my lap just like this, strings down. It helps if you think about a string pulling up your head. But if you notice that I start to crouch down, it tends to happen when you're playing and you get distracted. So do those mental checks for yourself. I'll try to do them for myself during the video. And if you have a footstool to lift up one of your feet so that you can prop the guitar, great. I have one, but I also have a toddler, which means that my things disappear. So let me show you what I'm using. I got a box in the mail full of strings. And this is just the perfect height for me to play the guitar. So I'm gonna put this on the floor. And I like it because I can try it horizontally or vertically to find a good height for me to play. A stack of magazines, anything that you can kind of find that will be sturdy. If you do yoga, maybe a yoga block will work. I like to prop up my my foot to give me that height that I need for the instrument. So always remember the thing that I said to you earlier, you're the boss, okay? So remember that you're the boss, the instrument comes to you. So notice if you start to compensate, bring yourself back up to center. I'm gonna lower the angle of the camera just for a bit so we can see how I'm holding the instrument. I want you to play with both legs and see which way, oh, I like that. Which way is gonna be more comfortable. One of the things I see beginners do, I'm gonna go sideways so you can see this. Sometimes my beginners will bring the instrument super close to them. Then they'll be poking out that elbow to the back. So if you're noticing something is unnatural with your body positioning, breathe, relax into it, and fix the instrument so that it works around you. And now I can bring my thumb to, I'm kind of going to go in the center first, but it might inch up a little bit. We do not want a peeping thumb. That's going to shorten the length of, or the reach of your fingers. Look up. This way my fingers can reach this far. But if I drop the thumb, my fingers can reach much further. I have more freedom with my fingers. And we'll talk about hands in a bit. But sit comfortably. String, pull your head up. Make sure you are aligned. I don't know if it helps to see me from the back, but I'll show you from the back what that looks like. I'm gonna show you from this angle. Yeah, that's good. Let me show you from this angle. So that's where I'm going to be sitting. I'm comfortable. Both shoulders are aligned. I'm sitting with a good posture and the guitar has come to me. I hope you're feeling good. Take a few deep breaths. Remind yourself that you're doing this for fun. And trust me with this, the more you play, the more you'll find what's comfortable for you and you'll make adjustments that will be just right for your body. So just keep playing, keep showing up with your instrument and you will fit each other really well. So next we're going to learn the string names and numbers. But what I mean by number is if I said string 1, I would like for you to play the thinnest string. That's the one that's closest to the floor. That's string 1. And then string 2 would be the one right above it. My bad. String 3, string 4, string 5, and string 6 is closest to your face. So string 1 would be the highest sounding, and string 6 would be down here. Let's learn the names of the strings. So string 1 is E, but guess what? String 6 is also E. So string 1 is a high E, and string 6 is a low E. So if you play them together and your guitar is in tune, they'll sound good. If your guitar's not in tune, that's okay. We'll tune it in a second. The next string over is B. B for Bernadette. String 3 is G. String 4 is D. String 5 is A. And string 6 is E. So let's tune our instrument. When it comes to tuning, you have several options. Option 1 is to download a free tuning app on your phone. I'll link the one that I use down below. It's called Piano Tuner, like piano without the I. Or if you have a clip-on tuner, I'll show you how to use one in this video. So when you turn on the clip-on tuner, you might notice that when you press the button, it gives you different letters like C or G on the bottom corner. I don't mean in the middle, but on the bottom corner. So you might see C or G or U or something like this. So the C stands for chromatic, G stands for guitar, U stands for ukulele. I like to set it on the C setting, especially when you have a new instrument, chromatic. And I'll teach you what chromatic is. So I'm gonna put this on the headstock. And the great thing about these little tuners is that you can be talking, but it will only pick up the vibration of the instrument that it's attached to. If your instrument is brand new, it may be so far out of tune that when you're playing, it's not even giving you an E up here like it should be. I'm going to pretend that this instrument is really far out of tune. And we're gonna tune together. So first, let's learn the musical alphabet. The musical alphabet is A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, D, C, D, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So it's those letters and it just keeps repeating from low to high or high to low. Right now, the tuner is telling me that I'm playing a G sharp. So sharp means that it's just a little higher than a regular G. I need to move from the G, so I'm going to tighten. And I recommend that you keep picking and listening if you're changing the note. If the note's not changing, stop. Follow the string to the correct tuning machine and try again. So now I'm at a D, D sharp. I'm pretty close to the E, so once you start getting close, slow down. So now it's giving me an E, but it's not green yet. I'm going to do this until the light turns green and it's in tune. Let's go to our next string. String 5 is A. So I'm gonna put this one out of tune as well. Right now my tuner says F. Let's go through the musical alphabet. I need it to go up to an A. A, B, C, D, E, F. I need to go to a G and then the A. Now, what if you're thinking, well, why don't you go backwards? If I went backwards, I'd be loosening that string a lot and it wouldn't sound right. So I need to make sure that if the string is loose, I tighten. So now I'm at a G sharp, so I'm pretty close. Now it's A, and actually I went a little too far, and it's a little sharp is what we call it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull on, look up, I'm gonna pull on the string just a little bit. And sometimes just that little pull will help it set and be in tune. Okay? Next is string 4, and that's a D for Delta. That one's in tune. Sometimes they're just in tune. Leave it alone. Next, let's go to G. My G is a little bit over the center, so I might just do a little tug and see if that brings it down. That worked. And yeah, that worked. Now, B for boy, or beta. And my final string is string E. If it's a brand new guitar, you may notice that the strings go back down or out of tune. And it does take some time for the strings to set, but the more you play the instrument, the quicker those will set. Also, if there's big temperature changes where you live, or if you take it outside and come back inside, you'll notice that the strings will change in tuning as well. So if temperature is changing, make sure to tune. And it's good practice to just tune every time that you're gonna play the instrument, because your ear will start to recognize the voice that your instrument makes when it's in tune, and you'll start to recognize when it's out of tune with just your ear, because you'll get so used to listening to it sound correct. So that's a beautiful thing, and to reach that point, you have to tune before you play and just make it like brushing your teeth, something you do without thinking. And with time, you'll start noticing that you recognize your instrument's voice. So now let's talk about where to strum your instrument and how to strum. If you're wearing a long sleeve, bring that sleeve back, because if you're strumming with a long sleeve, what can happen is that you can start to mute your own instrument, and you might be wondering what's happening. It doesn't sound as good as the teacher's, but it's that sleeve is getting in the way. So I'm going to move the sleeve back. Some people have long nails, some people have short nails. I have long nails on the strumming hand and short nails on the fretboard hand, but sometimes I cut these off because I just get tired of having long nails. But you can play however you prefer to play. We already learned our body parts, right? So this is the body, this is the fingerboard or fretboard. So where the body and the fretboard meet is a really good place to start our strumming journey. So let's look at our hand. How are we gonna hold our hand? Go ahead and give me the index and thumb together as if you're holding a $100 bill. And then let the other fingers just relax and calm down. And why I say relax is because I don't want you to have this tight hand and bring all that tension to the instrument. Take a breath. Bring those fingers together and relax the other fingers down. And it should be loose. Now I'd like for you to, maybe it looks a little bit like a chicken. Pretend the chicken's saying no. No, 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 no. This is how relaxed we should be. It should not be a whole arm situation. We are not turning on a lawnmower. Try to just move from the wrist. Of course, there is some arm movement happening, but I'm not doing this, right? It should be minimal and relaxed. Now look up so I can show you which part of the fingernail I'm using. And you don't need long nails for this, so if you have short nails, this still applies. I'm gonna use the bottom half of the nail to strum downwards. So we're gonna strum where the fingerboard and the body meet. And you might be wondering, why aren't we strumming at the sound hole? Well, try strumming at the sound hole, and you might notice that your finger gets caught on string 6. It's okay to strum all the way down, but as you get in the groove, you might notice that a finger might catch and go inside. And so a way to prevent that is to strum right above the sound hole where the fingerboard meet. So go ahead and give me some down strums. We're not holding a chord yet. Here we go, breathe. And strum 4 times at the same speed I'm strumming. I'll say ready, go, and then we strum together. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause, look up, and look at me. Ready, go. So I'm doing a gentle wrist movement with some arm movement. Elbows pretty much set in place, so you will notice I'm not doing a whole from the shoulder joint movement. Should be pretty relaxed. Okay, good. Let's do it again. Take a breath. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause. 2, again. Ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause. Wonderful. Check your body and see if you've kind of wrapped around your instrument, or notice where the sound hole is pointing. Is it pointing out, or has it gravitated upwards because you're looking at the instrument? So do those little checks. I wish I was there with you in person so that I can help you with anything that needed tweaking, but here the best thing I can do is remind you to check your body and see if you're comfortable. Make sure you're comfortable. By the way, if you're enjoying this lesson, please help this video reach more people by engaging with it somehow, so you can hit the like button or write a comment. Let me know where in the world you're watching from or how old you are. It's always fun to see in the comments the wide range of ages that we cover through these lessons. You'll see people saying, I'm 84 or I'm 14. It's really fun to see that. So let me know. And all of those little engagements help this video reach more people. So thank you. So now let's play our first chord. And you'll notice I don't have a guitar in front of me. That's on purpose. First, we have to understand our fretboard hand, the hand that holds down the strings. Beginners want to play here because we are used to using this part of our fingers to press things. But for the guitar, this, no bueno, not good. Because when we do that, and I'm gonna show it on ukulele what happens, only because the ukulele is smaller and I can bring it right up to the screen. If you were to press where those X's are, press any note, what happens is that you're gonna mute the one before it. That one might ring nice, but the one before is going to be pressed because your finger is laying on it. So we don't want that. So there it's wrong. Here it's correct. So notice how close that is to the nail. And this is why. Have you seen those little toys, the Legos? Those, like the ones that children use to build little houses or trucks or whatever. Legos come with little men and little women that have their hands that look like this. Look, right? They're curved. I would like for you to make a Lego hand when you come to the fretboard of your instrument. We're going to learn how to play E minor chord. So let me show you a chord chart. So I have a chord chart on the screen now. Let me show you how to read it because we're all beginners. We're all just learning. If you already know how to read it, then this is review. So the top horizontal line or the top flat line, that represents the nut. And if this is new to you, make sure to say it out loud because that'll help you remember it. So the top line represents the nut. The next line represents the next fret wire, and the next fret wire, and the next fret wire, and so on. And the lines correspond to your strings. Here for the E minor chord chart, the little m means minor. So you're gonna press down on the string on the second fret of 5 and 4. But wait, those are not the only important strings. You also have to let all the other strings that you're not pressing ring while they're open. So look at my hand. If I were to press with that portion of my hand, this is what would happen. String 6 is fine because I'm far enough away from it. String 5 is a little rattly but still working. String 4 is fine. String 3, it's not doing okay because I'm pressing incorrectly and I'm muting. Same with string 2, I'm muting because I'm pressing with the flat part of the fingers. Now look at what happens when I do my Lego hand. Look up, look up. I know you want to play, but I need you to watch this because I'm not there with you to fix your hand. Okay, I'm going to use index and middle for these. And I'll explain why. There is a purpose for why we're using our peace fingers here. So index is going to go on string 5. Make sure you do that Lego hand. Do it with me, do it with me. Just put the index finger down. And now open up the hand a little bit. Look at the door hinge I'm creating. And then the middle finger is going to go to the second fret of string 4. So look up. If my fingers were parallel, maybe they wouldn't fit. So make sure you add a little bit of an angle. Notice where the knuckles are. They're kind of close to fret 1. Now test those strings that you're pressing down. Here's another thing to notice. It's kind of difficult to, oh, here we go. That's the angle. Okay, right here, I would like for you to make a house for a mouse. Your mouse should be able to peek out of here. Don't squish your mouse. Drop the thumb, drop the shoulder, breathe. Make a house for a mouse, and then press down on those. And if you strum, you should have all the strings ringing. Now relax. Oh, that's a lot of work just for the first chord. Whoop, almost dropped my guitar. By the way, I would like to thank the people at Martin for sending this guitar so that I could teach you today. Thank you so much. I am so grateful for this instrument. Do a little stretch because we've been working hard. But don't worry, this next part of the lesson is going to be like the funnest part because we're actually going to get to be playing on our instruments. So bring your leg up, get comfortable, make your house for a mouse, press with your dots, your invisible dots that you've drawn on your very top tips. Make a house for a mouse. Make sure your mouse can peek out of there. And then find a good strumming position. Maybe you do want to strum over the sand hole and you're not getting caught. Cool. And if you are getting caught on your way down, then just move a little bit higher where the fingerboard will help you slide right down. Yay! Okay. Now let's be musicians and play together at the same time. Let's do the 4 down strums and then give me 4 beats of rest. Wait until I say go and then start on the next beat. So I will say 1, 2, ready, go, and you'll do 1, 2, 3, 4 and rest. 2, 3, 4, then you'll play again, okay? All right. Check your posture, check your positioning, and relax your face. If you've been like holding tension on your face, relax the face too. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, breathe. 2, ready, again, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Woohoo! Now let's learn another chord. This one's not gonna be as easy, but it's the most popular chord. E minor, the one that we just learned, used 2 fingers. The one we're about to learn uses 3. Go back to E minor. Notice where that middle finger is. You're gonna need the middle finger in that same spot for the next one, okay? And notice we have an open low E, or open string 6. Check. Then the 3rd fret of string 5. So let's go to the 3rd fret with the ring finger, please. Ring finger, ring finger, ring finger. 2nd fret of string 4 with the middle. Skip a string, and then on string 2 with the index. Now, if you're able to carry your guitar this way, if you're not able to, that's okay. But if you are, and you can look down like this, notice if your fingers are touching other strings. If you're holding your fingers flat, you're gonna get this. So look down from the top of the guitar and see if you're holding the fingers in the correct posture. And if you are not touching other ones next to it, then you'll be good. Now, if you're holding them correctly and you're still getting this, it means you might not be pressing down tight enough. So make sure you're pressing down with some pressure. And if you're thinking like, I'm trying, but it's so difficult, then try this. Look, bring the guitar back with your strumming arm. And then when you press with the fretboard hand, you can create that tension. That one I learned from my ukulele teacher, actually. So you can create that kind of tension with this arm if you need it. The other thing you need is just time. The fingers get stronger. So this is C chord. So let's try and play 4, rest for 4, and then play 4 more. The same thing we did with E minor. Okay, I'm gonna set the tempo here. This will be our tempo. Tempo means speed, right? Okay, breathe. Get ready. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. Down, 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 down. 1, 2, again, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Now let's notice something that's different on the C chord chart from the E minor chord chart. Do you notice a little X on top of string 6? That little X means don't play me, don't touch me, don't even think about me. That's what that X means. So when you're playing the C chord, strum from the 5th string down. So this will require you to look down at your instrument in the beginning. Over time, you'll start getting familiar with your instrument and you won't need to look down. But in the beginning, look down. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. All right, let's do a little pause, stretch and breathe. the song that we'll be playing by the end of this lesson uses 4 chords for the whole song. You've learned 2 of them. So everything you're learning now is going to pay off. And by the way, if you would like a PDF of the lesson that we're learning here, like if you want to print it out or have it in front of you to review afterwards, I've linked it down below. I am presenting everything that you need here on the screen, but I know there are some people who like to download something that they can follow and read along with. Our next chord is G for golf, G for golf, and we're gonna need to play 3rd fret with the middle finger, and make sure you make those Lego hands with the house for a mouse, so drop that thumb. 2nd fret of A with the index, good. Make sure you're still having that house for the mouse. Look up and look at what my hand's gonna do. I'm gonna angle up a little bit because the ring finger needs to be on the 3rd fret of the highest E, or your string 1. And if I'm parallel, maybe that ring finger will barely fit, but if I angle up a little bit, I make room for my ring finger. So again, if you want to check your posture, you can look down from the guitar this way, but if that doesn't work, then just make sure you're dropping that thumb to look at where my thumb is. So my thumb is right here most of the time. So drop that thumb. If it's too high up, it might be an uncomfortable position, especially if you have arthritis or carpal tunnel. You may create more pain later on. So it's better to start off the right way with good habits. Drop that wrist so that you don't have these bent arms like that. That's not good. So check and make sure that you're taking care of yourself when you're playing the guitar. So this is G, G for golf. And make sure you're saying it to your hand so that your hand will memorize it. So let's try it. 1, 2, 4 times. Ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, again. Ready, go. 1, 2, breathe. 3, 4. Great. Okay, so let's review the 3 chords that we've learned so far, because review is the best teacher. Review and repetition. So hold up your peace fingers, your victory fingers, and go ahead and put those on the 2nd frets of strings 5 and 4. That's E minor. Good. Your middle finger can stay where it's at. Look up. I'm going to put the ring finger on the 3rd fret of string 5 first, and then move the index to the 1st fret of B string. Remember to strum only 5 strings. So right now, I would love for you to take some time to shadow play. So what is shadow play? Shadow play means no strumming hand. Look at what you're doing from the E minor. Move the index finger first and add the ring finger, or do it opposite. Add the ring finger, then move the index. And find out which one your hand likes better. Your hand's the boss. So right now, your hand's gonna be the boss, I should say. So find out which way it likes more and switch back and forth, back and forth. And do that switch over and over with shadow play. Shadow play I learned from a fantastic teacher named Ami Garvin from Diamond Bar. She's an amazing orchestra teacher, and she would have her students flip the violins and violas backwards, and they would play without sound, so shadow playing, to memorize the pieces in their bow direction. And I just love that idea. So here we are shadow playing by not playing with sound and just training one hand so that we can do the other one without thinking. And then from there we have to take a leap of faith into G. So maybe you want to position the index finger first and then the middle and ring. So go ahead and try that jump from C to G. And we're gonna spend a little bit of time here, so don't worry about having to pause the video or that I'm gonna rush you. And the order that I'm giving you, keep practicing, okay? The order that I'm giving you these chords in is the same order that you need for the song that we're learning today. So we are learning our final song by doing this now. So E minor, leave the middle finger where it's at and play a C. And then make sure you're looking at your fretboard and make note of where one of your fingers is going to land first. It could be the index, then the middle and ring, or it might be the middle finger and then the index and ring. So find a way that it's going to feel really nice for you. Find a way that it works in your head and just shadow play. And it's not that I don't want you to strum, that's not it. It's just when you train one hand really well, then it's gonna work for you whether you're thinking about it or not. So we're learning how to train our hand. So E minor, and make sure you're saying the chord names out loud because your hand's gonna memorize it for you too. Muscle memory. E minor, C, G. E minor, C, and G. I could have given you like easier finger positions for the first lesson, but the thing is that C and G are gonna be in so many songs that I thought we should just go full on ahead and learn the most important chords that we can learn in this lesson. So keep practicing with me. I'm just rotating through E minor, C, and G. We'll spend another minute here. So that one is called Swallow the Frog. When you do a difficult task in the beginning, it's from a book called Swallow the Frog. And the book says that if you do the most difficult thing in the morning, or if you do the most difficult thing in the beginning, then the rest of the day or the rest of your time doing a specific task feels easy. So if I tell you, let's swallow the frog, I'm referring to that book. So E minor, C, and G. Okay, perfect. So now I would love for you to do something with me. We're gonna play all of these chords in time, but we're only going to play them on beat 1. Let me show you what I mean. I will give you the beats, right? I'll be saying 1, 2, 3, 4. And on beat 1, you'll give me E minor. 1, 2, 3, 4. And on the next beat 1, I would like the C. 1, 2, 3. And on the next beat 1, I would like that G. 2, 3, 4. So we've learned 75% of the chords that we need for our song today, which is like, yay, pat yourself on the back. So only play on beat 1. And what you can do is use the other 3 beats to get ready for your next chord, okay? Here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, go. Okay, we're gonna do this a few times, like at least 4 more times. So it's okay if you're still catching up. So let's try it again. It helps if you say the chords to yourself too. 1, 2, E minor, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, C. 1, 2, 3, 4, G. 2, 3, 4. Okay, I'm going to call E minor echo minor. I'm going to call C Charlie, and I'm going to call G golf. And the reason is that when we're playing and you're listening to your guitar, C and G can sound very similar. So I want to make sure that we know exactly what chord to play. So echo minor, Charlie, and golf. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, echo minor, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, Charlie. 1, 2, 3, ready, golf. Yeah, let's do it again. I sped up there a little bit. Let me go back to a slower tempo. 1, 2, echo minor, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, Charlie. 1, 2, 3, golf, go. Okay, let's do it one more time, but this time, breathe. Check your posture, check your positioning. Make sure you're comfortable. Make sure you're comfortable. The only thing that should be uncomfortable right now might be your fingertips, because you're pressing down on chords and this is new. And maybe there's calluses there yet, okay? So just remind yourself to enjoy that growth journey. That's the best thing we can do, just have a positive attitude towards it. Okay, here we go. Last time. Echo minor, get ready. 1, 2, 3, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, Charlie, go. 1, 2, 3, golf, go. Perfect. Okay, so the last chord that we need for the song that we are learning today is D. I'm gonna call this one Delta, D for Delta. This one is tricky. Look at the chord chart. It has an X over string 5 and 6. So that means we're only gonna strum 4 strings. 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay? And the other tricky thing about this chord is that the fingers are gonna be pretty close together. So we need to be strategic in how we place them. So D string or string 4 is open. Yay! Then string 3 on the 2nd fret, we're gonna use our index finger. Make sure you drop the thumb, house for mouse, and go ahead and angle up from right now. Look up so you can see what angle up means. This angle up is gonna allow you to fit the middle finger on the 2nd fret of string 1. Because if your index is parallel like this, that middle finger might not fit. So angle up, perfect. And then the ring finger will be on the 3rd fret of your 2nd string or string B. And go ahead and play that and make sure you're looking at your guitar so that you're only strumming the 4 strings. I love how that sounds. Isn't that so pretty? And then if your strings are not sounding right, like if you're making the sour milk face, like, then it might be out of tune. So you can take a minute to tune again if you need to. But if it's sounding pleasant, then your D for Delta is good. Now we need to practice the switch from G to D. And because this is the final chord in our song. So G, go ahead and go to G for golf. And there's no fingers in common between G and D. So what I like to do is I like to move my peace fingers, look up, together. So the ring finger kind of holds down the guitar while I move these 2 fingers to the spot they need to be. And then I move my ring finger just over 1 string. It's already on the 3rd fret, thankfully. It just needs to move a string. So go from G to D in shadow play. Maybe you're the leap of faith person and you can move all 3 at the same time. Find out what works for you. Or maybe you move the ring finger first and then the twins. I'm gonna call those twins. So find out which way you like better. So G and then D and shadow play. G and then D. G and then D. G and then D. And just go back and forth. And if you're moving slower than me, then totally cool. G, D. And so keep playing like that with shadow play. And in a minute, what we're gonna do is just do G, 2, 3, 4, then D for Delta, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so keep going back and forth between G and D. And remember, we're swallowing the frog. These chords are gonna be in so many of the songs that you will encounter. So it's good to just knock them out now and have them in your toolkit of things you can do with your guitar. And if you're building calluses, then this is great practice for getting those calluses really fast. If you're playing your guitar every day, even 10-15 minutes, you'll start to notice those calluses in a week. If you're playing a steel string like I am, they'll be even faster. If you're playing a nylon string like this one, then it might be slower, but your calluses will be less visible. Okay, so let's try going from golf, G for golf, to D for delta. Play on beat 1. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. Golf. 2, 3, 4, delta. 2, 3, 4. And remember that delta needs only 4 strings, okay? So let's try that again. Breathe. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, D for delta. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we practice our switch from E minor to C, C to G, and G to D. And those are the only 4 chords we need for our song, but there's one more switch we need to practice. Do you know which one it is? The switch from D for delta back over to the E minor, because this song just repeats the whole sequence. So once you have like a few chords that you're going to play in a song, that's called the chord progression. So our chord progression, or the chords that we're playing for this song, are E minor, C, G, D. E minor, C, G, D. And they each have 4 beats, and you just repeat that for the whole song. So we're playing Zombie by the Cranberries, by the way. So let's practice D to E minor. So that switch is a lot easier, maybe more forgiving, because the index and middle finger are already hanging out on the 2nd fret. They're on different strings, but you just move those to strings 4 and 5 and you're there. So let's practice shadow playing D and E minor, and D and E minor. And you might feel silly saying it D and E minor, but it's helping your brain and your hand make that relationship, and it'll help your learning go faster, and it'll help you remember these positions. So make sure you're saying it. Tell your hand what to do. Play a D, now play an E minor, and it will listen. So let's do that every 4 beats. D for delta first, and then echo minor. Here we go. D for delta. 1, 2, ready, go now. 1, 2, 3, echo minor. Ooh, that switch sounds nice. Okay, so now we're gonna do the most difficult part yet, but it is the most rewarding, it is the most fun. We're gonna do all 4 chords and then come back to E minor. So we'll do echo minor, C, G, D, echo minor, okay? All right, you got this. You can do it. You truly can do it, okay? Here we go. 1, 2, breathe. 1, 2, have fun. Ready, go. 1, 2, 3, Charlie. 1, 2, 3, golf, go. 2, 3, delta. 2, echo minor, go. All right, we're gonna do that again, and then we'll add our strumming pattern, and that'll be it. All right, here we go. 1, 2, echo minor. Ready, breathe. 1, 2, 3, 4, Charlie. 1, 2, 3, 4, golf. 2, 3, delta. Back to the beginning. 1, ready, go. Okay, so strumming patterns. How do you make this song sound good? So you're already doing part of it, by the way, because every chord starts on beat 1. So we've got some work already in the bag. And if you're a beginner, and if you already feel like this is enough, you can play it there. things slowly. La, 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 la. I'm playing faster just to show you that you can already sing. La, 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 la. It already works. You can already do the whole song, okay? If you want to do a little bit more, what we've been doing is called whole notes, meaning we just play on beat 1 and let it ring for 4 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. You don't need to do what I'm doing with my hand, by the way. I'm just doing this to show you there are 4 beats. You can do half notes. Half notes have 2 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. What I love about this is that the fretboard hand is still moving the same as we were before. It's still holding for all 4 beats. The strumming hand is just adding a little more flavor. So you could play the whole notes with me, the 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, I do the half notes. It works. We work together. Let's try it. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 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 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, and 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and okay? It all works. If that's enough of a challenge for you, perfect. You can hang out there and we will sound good no matter what we're doing because the switch is always happening on beat 1. If you're able to add more challenge to your strumming, then give me quarter notes. This is going to be on every beat you're strumming. Fretboard hand is still doing the same thing it was before. Let's try it. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, switch. 1, back to echo minor. La, 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 la. Good. If you can add more flavor to that, if you're counting 1, 2, 3, 4, we're gonna do a little upstrum after 4. For the upstrum, so I'm going to use the soft part of my hand or my finger, and I'm not touching all 6 strings for the upstrum. The upstrum is just kind of a little hey, and I tend to only touch 1, 2, or 3 strings. So it's gonna be down, 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 up. Okay, down, up. So we're gonna count 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and. And the nice thing is that when you do that upstrum, it sets you up for that next downstrum on the next chord. So it kind of, adding that little up is like something cool's coming, a new chord. So let's try it. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. Now 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2. Isn't that cool? 3, 4, and 1, 2, 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 3, 4, and. Okay, all of those strumming patterns work just fine. I'm gonna give you one more that I think you'll like. So we've done the whole note, the half note, 1, 2, 4, and we've done the quarter note, 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, and we've added a little 8th note. But you could do all 8 notes if you want to by counting 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and all in down strum. And that'll sound like this: 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Now, don't click away. You're still hanging out here. If that is for you way too advanced, then that can be a goal that you come back to in a month, 2 months, 3 months, okay? So just keep that in the back of your head, that learn where you're at right now, but there's still another step you can add once you get familiar with the song, okay? So let's just play through the chord progression over and over. And I'm gonna do all of the strumming patterns so that you can see what they all sound like. So let's start with the whole notes. Here we go. Get ready for echo minor. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. I'm gonna do half notes now. And 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2. I'm gonna do quarter notes next, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. Now I'm gonna add 1/8 note at the end of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. Now I'm gonna do all the 8th notes on down strum. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. Notice my hand is doing very small movements so that I'm close to the guitar. I'm not doing very wide movements. I'm staying close. 3 and 4, Charlie. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, golf. 1 and 2 and delta. Okay, so I've given you a few strumming patterns. If you're able to do that one with the 8th notes, the 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, you can add a little 16th note at the end of the 4, or at the end of the and after 4. Let me show you. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and da. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and da. And that'll sound like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and da. 1 and 2 and 3 and... So pick your favorite strumming pattern and let's do it together. And the nice thing is that you could be doing the whole notes or the half notes. I could be doing the 8th notes, but we're still switching every 4 beats so we can play together. Here we go. You've got this. 1, 2, you can do it. 1, 2, play with joy, go. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Freeze until the note fades. And then let go. Ending is so important because if you do this and then you stop, you kill the moment. You want the moment to fade beautifully on its own. Freeze. Even your face should hold the space that you were holding before when you were playing. And come back. Please give me your feedback and let me know what were some light bulb moments or favorite moments. If you're wondering why I didn't sing the lyrics to the song, is because sometimes these video lessons are used in classrooms with young children, and I just try to make sure that everything is always classroom safe. So whenever there are lyrics that I might think, oh, would a teacher hold back on showing this lesson because of the lyrics, I tend to change them or leave them out. So that's why I didn't add the lyrics this time around. Now, remember, there's a PDF that I made to go along with this video. So if you want to have that for additional practice afterwards, you can get that down below. And if you enjoyed this lesson and would like to join me on future lessons, subscribe to this channel. I also teach on Patreon. I do live lessons via Zoom. And I also perform at events in person. So right now I'm planning a strum in the desert in my hometown of El Centro, California. And at the time of this recording, I'm planning on being at the Los Angeles International Ukulele Festival. So I know we're doing guitar, but anything that you learn on guitar can be transferred over to the ukulele as well. So I'll try to update on which events I'm going to on my channel as well, so that you can keep an eye out for that. Let me know how this lesson went for you, and if you decide to perform for someone in your family or friends or for anyone else, let me know so that I can cheer you on for performing. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today, and I hope to see you in a future lesson. Ciao!